Bibliophiles of the internet, my name's Adriana, and today I'm here to talk about my top 5 favorite science fiction and fantasy books. This is kind of a 2-for-1 video because it's a top 5 Wednesday video, but it's in conjunction with the Bookish Babbles for the Booktube SFF Awards. And speaking of the awards, the read-alongs for the shortlisted books have officially begun. There are 5-month-long read-alongs that are currently happening right now, and those are for 9 Fox Gambit, Furthermore, This Savage Song, Monstrous, and Every Heart a Doorway. Most of the read-along discussions are held on the Goodreads group, and there are also a few giveaways for this month's books that you can enter and read more about on the Booktube SFF Twitter, so all of the official Booktube SFF social media will be linked down below. So with all of that said, let's finally start talking about some awesome SFF books. First up on my list is pretty much anything by N.K. Jemisin, but mostly her Broken Earth trilogy, which begins with the 5th season and is just too good for this world. It begins with a character called a Sun, who is an orojin, which means she can manipulate the earth and rock with her mind and raw energy. Orogeny is deeply frowned upon because a lot of people falsely believe orojins to be inherently dangerous, feral, and violent. A Sun's youngest child, Uche, has just started displaying early signs of orogeny, and because of that he's killed by his father, who then kidnaps and runs away with a Sun's only living child, Nasun. So in a way it's about a mother who's desperately trying to save her child at the end of the world, but it's about so much more than that. I just love how this story explores the concept of the apocalypse, not as the end of the world, but as the end of a world as we know it. And how these characters are expected to pull themselves out of the ashes and to keep going, to keep evolving, even if it's just the most painful, most difficult thing in the world. The story brilliantly explores how people recreate themselves from what has been destroyed in the only way that they can. But it's also about cycles of systematic oppression, how they're formed, how we can become trapped in them, and how we can break free from them with resistance. I can't even begin to put into words how necessary this trilogy is. It is very much a gift. Next up, I have FMA, or Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromu Arakawa. This is one of the best manga series ever. It's about 2 brothers named Edward and Alphonse Elric who are trained from a very young age to become powerful alchemists. Alchemy is like a blend of science and magic. It operates on the law of equivalent exchange, which states that nothing can be gained or made without first sacrificing or giving up something in return. So when they're very young, their mother passes away and they try to transmute her back to life, but the process almost claims their own lives. Edward loses 2 limbs and Alphonse is stripped of his entire physical body, and from that point on they're searching for the Philosopher's Stone, which is the only entity in the world that can restore what they have lost. This series is incredible because it's about love, it's about the power of brotherhood, and that's not only limited to the 2 sibling main characters. There is an expansive cast of characters and they're all wonderful and complex and vital to the series. It's this powerful journey of love and sacrifice and healing, and not even physical healing, because this desire that Ed and Al have to restore their bodies, that's a reaction, that's a symptom, that's not really the source of their pain. And as they push on through this impossible journey and face these insurmountable enemies and forces that are stacked against them, they're forced to confront what they're really going through. And the same goes for pretty much all of the other characters. Like, I cannot express myself anymore. It is so much. It is so much. And the suffering continues with my next choice, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is queer lit. It's a retelling of the events predating the Iliad as well as the events of the Iliad itself, as told from the perspective of Achilles' most loyal companion, Patroclus. There are no words to describe how much depth and texture and freshness this story brings to an ancient myth, which is just incredible and blows my mind every time. Like, how does she do it? She uses these literary and oral machinations of Greek myth itself, like things you will see in the Iliad itself, and she brings that into this story, but it's so new and it's so different and it just gets you right in the chest. Everything about this story is raw and immediate. It crowds your senses and your feelings, and you are completely and totally immersed in every single word in this book. Patroclus and Achilles' love just messes me up because they both see so much more in each other than anyone else sees. Their love is reckless and honest and complicated. It's a gamble against the gods. It's so passionate and so strong that fate could never even think to take it into account. I'm pretty sure I stopped making sense a while ago, but basically this book is a complete and utter triumph in every sense of the word, and you need it in your life. Next up, I want to talk about the Ancillary Justice trilogy by Ann Leckie. This is a kick-ass story about an ancillary unit named Breck, who used to be one of many AIs making up this ship, but now she's broken away from her ship and she wants revenge on the all-powerful leader of this galactic empire. Legit, this is one of the coolest books on the planet, and you will become badass by association just for reading this book. On the one hand, it's this action-packed quest for revenge, and they're like epic spaceship fights, and it's about resisting this tyrannical regime, but it's also about the devastation brought on by colonization. It's about the importance of resistance and self-organization. It's about centering the voices of the marginalized. Like, it's everything you could want. And I can't get over the way this story is told, because since Breck is an ancillary unit, she can kind of tap into what her crewmates are seeing and experiencing and feeling, and she can see it herself. So the story sort of shifts from her close third perspective to almost an omniscient feeling kind of voice, where she can see and experience these things that are so far beyond her body and so far beyond her reach, but that are still very much told in her voice and from her perspective as she processes these moments. And I love that even though this is an epic, awesome space opera, it's surprisingly quiet and human. You would expect Breck to be this cold, distant, emotionless person because she is an ancillary unit, but she's not that way. She's very much capable of independent thought. She's capable of experiencing complex emotions and thought processes that very much inform who she is and what she does. And that was especially validating because Breck is canonically Arrow Ace, so her characterization for me is very important. I'm gonna stop myself there because obviously I could say so much more, but to say that I love this trilogy is an understatement. And finally, we have Howls Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This is one of my all-time favorite films, books, stories ever. It's about a character named Sophie who is cursed by the Witch of the Waste and turned into a 90-year-old woman. And the only way she can undo this curse is if she embarks on a perilous journey to track down the powerful and terrifying wizard Howl and his incredible moving castle. This story means so much because it shows that of all the magic in the world, the ability to love yourself and believe in yourself is the most powerful magic there is. It shows that magic and romance and adventure and even destiny are nothing compared to discovering who you are and exactly what you are capable of doing for yourself. It's the ultimate story of self-love and self-empowerment, and to me that makes it the best love story ever told. So that's about all the incoherent gushing I had scheduled for today, but in the comments below let me know what are some of your favorite SFF books that you would love to recommend. But that is everything I had for this Top 5 Wednesday today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page. Bye!